Welcome back to the channel. Are you looking for something special to do during your Martha's Vineyard getaway? One of the easiest things to do is to visit the island's historic lighthouses, each with a different view, a different story, and a different piece of the coastal beauty. These lighthouses aren't just historic towers. They're a peaceful place to pause, take in the scenery, and explore a piece of the island that some visitors never get to see. Today, I am taking you with me as I visit 4 of the island's lighthouses: East Chop, West Chop, Edgartown Harbor, and Gay Head Lighthouses. And along the way, I hope to share some tips to help you enjoy these sites, whether you're staying on the island or you're just doing a day trip like me. So let's start our journey and see why these lighthouses make Martha's Vineyard such an unforgettable place to visit. Martha's Vineyard sits just off the coast of Cape Cod. I decided to stay on the mainland and make this a day trip. So I caught the early morning traditional ferry out of Woods Hole. It was a budget-friendly 45-minute ride. Just a few quick tips about the ferry. There's no reservations required for foot passengers. Also, Woods Hole doesn't have any on-site parking, so you will need to allot time to catch the shuttle over to the ferry location. I used the Steamship Authority for this trip. Before we even reach the island, the lighthouse journey begins with views of Nobska Light and even a distant glimpse of Tarpaulin Cove Light. As you approach Martha's Vineyard, grab a seat on the right or starboard side of the ferry. That's where you'll catch your first lighthouse, West Chop Light. It's perched quietly on a bluff overlooking the harbor. It's a calm, welcoming introduction to the island's maritime history. Built in 1817, this 45-foot tower is still maintained by the U.S. Coast Guard. The Fourth Order for Now Lynn sends out a white occulting light with a red danger sector, continuing to guide vessels safely into Vineyard Haven. The keeper's house is still Coast Guard housing, and the grounds are closed to the public. When you arrive in Vineyard Haven, you'll land at a transportation hub with buses and taxis ready to take you around the island. There is a bus that passes West Chop Lighthouse, but it runs every 2 hours. This is something to consider if you're planning to reach the lighthouse by bus. From Vineyard Haven, I caught the free bus to Oak Bluffs and got off near the road leading to East Chop Lighthouse. Fair warning, this is not a short walk, and there is a little hill along the route. The lighthouse has stood on this bluff since 1869. The current 40-foot cast iron tower, built in 1878, shines 79 feet above the water. Its green light flashes every 6 seconds, 3 seconds on and 3 seconds off, and it reaches up to 9 miles. In the 1980s, the East Chop Lighthouse, along with Gay Head and Edgartown Harbor, were saved from demolition thanks to the efforts of the Vineyard Environmental Research Institute. Today, the tower is owned by the Coast Guard, but it is managed by the Martha's Vineyard Museum. The lighthouse sits in a quiet residential neighborhood, and during my visit, it was peaceful with sweeping views of Vineyard Haven Harbor and Vineyard Sound. It's one of the best places on the island to slow down and take in wide open panoramic scenery. I imagine the sunsets here are incredible. Access was closed the day that I visited, but the museum does post dates and times that the lighthouse is open online. Here's an interesting fact. East Chop Lighthouse used to be called the Chocolate Lighthouse. From the 1880s all the way to 1988, it was painted a brownish red color. Hard to imagine that shade on the lighthouse today. Instead of walking back to the bus stop, I continued on foot towards Oak Bluffs. Even in the heat, it was a lovely stretch, with walkers, runners, and views of the Sound keeping me company. Oak Bluffs is a lively area. The harbor area has boats, restaurants, shops, and the historic Flying Horses Carousel. It's also one of the island's ferry ports, so depending on your itinerary, this may be where you start or end your day. Since I caught the early morning ferry, I grabbed a breakfast wrap from Biscuits, a popular restaurant on the island. The line was long, but it was worth it. From here, I set out to the next stop, the island's most famous lighthouse, Head Lighthouse. You can take the Vineyard Transit Authority bus to the lighthouse. But since this was my first trip to Martha's Vineyard, I decided to take the all-island Aquina tours. This tour covers Oak Bluffs, Edgartown, and Aquina, and it included a 30-minute stop at the Bluffs and the lighthouse.
At Oak Bluffs, we're going to be taking you guys right around the entire island, which includes one stop over here by the cliffs for just about 25 minutes. For this big beautiful park on the right here, it sits directly in front of the ocean over here on the left, so hence the name, Ocean Park. A lot of kids playing around in the summertime. We have kite flying there, bike riding, picnics in the park, few lovers in the park just hanging out, making out, all the fun stuff you can find in the ride over there, guys. We also have live music in that little gazebo thing on our weekend nights in the center of the park. However, all the beat scenes in the movie Jaws was filmed over here on the left. All except for one in the beginning where the girl got eaten by the shark. That was filmed over in South Beach, Edgartown. But all the other scenes right over here on the left. What do you think is the in thing to do by this bridge here in the hot summer sunny days? Of course, you come to the Jaws Bridge, you jump from the Jaws Bridge, then you go back to Oak Bluffs, and you buy a t-shirt that states, I vacation at Martha's Vineyard, and I jump from the Jaws Bridge.
At the Aquina Cliffs, we were only given 20 minutes. Not nearly enough time. But the scenery is stunning. The colors of the clay cliffs was more vivid in person than any camera can capture. Head Lighthouse was the very first lighthouse on Martha's Vineyard. It was established in 1799 to support the heavy whaling and shipping traffic that once passed through this point. The current brick tower, built in 1856, stands 51 feet tall above the cliffs. Its original Fresnel lens has been replaced with a modern optic that shows an alternating red and white flash every 15 seconds. The flash is visible up to 20 nautical miles out at sea. Today, that original Fresnel lens is on display at the Martha's Vineyard Museum. In 2015, the entire lighthouse was moved 129 feet inland to protect it from erosion, an impressive engineering feat that a number of New England lighthouses have also experienced. Head is where the island's beauty really hits you. Dramatic cliffs, big ocean views, and a lighthouse that has guided ships for centuries. It's one of the most unforgettable places you can stand on the island. Today, the town of Aquina owns the lighthouse while the Coast Guard manages the active beacon. This lighthouse is also connected with the Wampanoag tribal heritage. and it is the only lighthouse with a history of Native American lighthouse keepers. After we returned to Oak Bluff, I took the number 13 bus to Edgartown. I really like this town. I think the next time I come back, this is probably where I'll hang out. The town was very charming, walkable, and there had a lot of shops and restaurants. Finding the path to the lighthouse wasn't easy, but Google Maps helped me out. Edgartown Harbor Light has been guiding vessels into this busy port since 1828, when the first lighthouse was built on this stretch of shoreline. The tower you see today is actually the former Ipswich Rear Range Light, a 44-foot cast iron structure that was moved to Edgartown in 1939 to replace the original tower that was lost to storms. This lighthouse is still an active aid to navigation, displaying a red flash every 6 seconds that's visible up to 5 nautical miles. This is one of the lighthouses on the island that I was actually able to climb during my visit, so I was really excited. After a quick climb up the spiral staircase, you'll reach the lantern room where the views are stunning, sweeping across Chappaquiddick, Edgartown Harbor, and even out towards Cape Cod on a clear day. Today, the lighthouse is owned by the town of Edgartown and managed by the Martha's Vineyard Museum. This lighthouse gives you that postcard perfect moment with sailboats drifting by, calm waters, and the tower sitting right at the edge of the beach. It's peaceful, scenic, and a beautiful final stop for a lighthouse-filled day. Before leaving Martha's Vineyard, there's one more lighthouse worth mentioning, and it's the most remote lighthouse on Martha's Vineyard, and that's Cape Poge Lighthouse. This lighthouse is located on Chappaquiddick Island within the Protected Wildlife Refuge. To reach this lighthouse, you will either need a 4-wheel drive or take the tour that's offered by the trustees. The current 55-foot wooden tower was built in 1922. The light shows a white flash every 6 seconds that is visible up to 9 miles. It's the most remote lighthouse on Martha's Vineyard, and it's perfect for those travelers looking for a little bit more adventure. If the tour offered by the trustees is anything like the 4-wheel drive experience we had going to Great Point Lighthouse on Nantucket, it will definitely be worth it. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit a visit to this lighthouse during this visit, but it is definitely on my list for next time. Since we're talking about experiences beyond the 4 lighthouses that we visited, I wanted to share a few thoughts on the island tour that I took. So, was it worth it? Well, it depends. If you like to receive a quick overview before exploring on your own, then maybe. But if you're someone who prefers the hop-on, hop-off bus type experience like I do, it probably won't meet your expectations, because I would have loved to have stayed a little longer at the cliffs and the lighthouse. Since the island bus is free, I'd probably recommend that you take the bus to whatever location you want to go to. That way you'll have more flexibility with your time and more control over your day. Leaving the island, I caught final views of East Chop and West Chop lighthouses. And as the ferry approached Woods Hole, I passed Nobska Light and caught another glimpse of Tarpaulin Cove Light out on Nishan Island. This was a perfect reminder that we still have some Cape Cod lighthouses to talk about. So those were our lighthouse highlights from our visit to Martha's Vineyard, each one offering a different way to see and appreciate the island. If you're looking for an easy way to make your time on the vineyard more memorable, the lighthouses definitely deliver. Beautiful scenery, peaceful moments and experiences you won't find in town. Before heading to Rhode Island, we're going to take a closer look at Nobska, Tarplin Cove, and Wings Neck Lighthouses, the last stops before wrapping up this part of our New England Lighthouse Trail. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And until next time, I will see you at the light.